Oh yes, we have another Daisy in the collection. I was so lucky with this one as well. This is a Daisy model number 922. These were made between, I think, about 1957 and 1961. And they're a little bit unusual, a little bit different to your normal run-of-the-mill Daisies, and I'll explain why in a minute. But this one is in absolutely mint condition. Lovely guy who sold it to me, it's second hand. When I first saw it, I was with a friend who'd gone to buy some other rifles off of this chap. He's got quite a large collection. And I saw this and I said, "Oh, is that one for sale?" And he said, "Yes, it is." He said, "But I have to warn you, it doesn't hold air." So basically he says it looks great but doesn't work. I said, "Okay, that's all right. I know quite a bit about these." So I said, "What do you want for it?" And he gave me an extremely reasonable price, and I just couldn't turn it down. So there we go. All right. So why is this a bit different to your run-of-the-mill Daisies? I'll flip it over onto so you can see the other side. Well, a couple of reasons. One, this is a multi-pump pneumatic air rifle. So this is the pump handle here. I'll explain how that works in a minute. But you basically pump this up. It's got an air chamber, piston in it, and you pump it up. That creates the air pressure that allows you to fire the gun. Also, it's not a BB gun. Although, I mean, in theory you could fire BBs from it, but it wouldn't be a very good idea because it has a rifled barrel and it's .22 calibre. So again, that's unusual. Daisy's normally 177. It has a bolt action breech, and normally it would be tray loaded. It has a multi-shot tray. I think it holds 5 pellets, and a single shot tray, which obviously just allows you to put one in. We'll have a close look at that in a minute. These, I think, are just gorgeous. I love this inlaid work, scroll work on here, Powerline. It's got plastic buttstock and forestock, but the rest of it is metal. And yeah, it's just a lovely gun. Let's close in on the receiver. Okay, I've tipped it up a bit so you can see this a bit better. This slot here, which goes all the way through, as I think you can see the leather apron on the other side. So you would slide your tray in. There's the breech end of the barrel. Line the pellet up. Push the bolt forward. There we go. Now you can see the bolt in place now, and that's in fact loaded. And that's how it loads. It's a bit tricky without the loading trays to get a pellet in there. You can do it. I use a pair of needle nose pliers and then push it in with a scriber, and that works quite well. But fortunately, you can get 3D printed reproductions of the pellet trays, and I've got some of those on order. So I said it was a multi-pump pneumatic, and this is how it works. This is the pump lever. Pull it forward to its full extent, pull it back. That's one pump. This is the easiest pump action pneumatic air rifle I've ever had to pump. It is really, really easy. Now, obviously, the more pumps you give it, the more air you eventually get compressed into the chamber. But bearing in mind, the chap who told this to me said it didn't hold air. I think it just needed to be used because it definitely does hold air. As you've probably heard that. And the more I've used this, the more powerful it's got. So I think that it probably could do with new seals, but that may be something I will do. Well, as you can see, the Daisy Powerline 922 has had a slight addition. I managed to find a nice little scope for it. I didn't want anything very, very large. I just wanted something that would be period correct for it. Speaking of which, I managed to get the dates completely wrongfully, these in the first part of the video, but I did put a caption up to explain that. So, yeah, 78 to 89 was the manufacturing time period for these. And the serial number on this one starts with E1, which basically means this was made in May of 1981. But it's in remarkable condition because, I mean, obviously, that's what, 43 years ago now? So it's obviously not seen a lot of use, I don't think. I don't know whether it was just bought and put away in a cupboard or something. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it is in very, very good condition. We've also had something else arrived for it. Now this is a set of 3D printed loading trays, which managed to find on eBay. And basically, I think the original loading tray would have been pretty much identical to this. This is a 5-shot tray, and I think that that is what this thing originally came for. But the guy who makes these also does these other two. This one is a single shot loading tray, as I think you can see. And this one is a little tray you put in if you just want to manually load it by hand, and that apparently makes it easier to get the pellets in, because it is a bit tricky without any kind of a tray. I'll get some 2-2 pellets and show you exactly how that works. So this is the back of the loading tray, and the pellets are basically just pushed into the holes from the back like that and inserted. You put 5 in, and then you're ready to load it into the actual breech of the gun. So you've got a sort of top out shaped T-slot here, and basically with the pellets placed into the back of the gun, back of the pellets to the back of the gun, you simply insert that into the slot, push it through, and there is a kind of detent, so it does kind of locate. It's not brilliant, but it does locate. And then when you're ready, you just slide the bolt forward, and that will push the first one of the pellets into the breech, and you're ready to go. Pull it back, slide it across further to the next one, and you're ready to go again. Literally as simple as that. A couple of things to note when using these trays, if you do decide to get one of these. This is printed from some sort of very flexible plastic, so it's bendy. It's not hard. You know, it is actually flexible, so you're not going to break these. You do need to make sure the pellets are pushed well home. It's if you have them even slightly sticking proud of the holes that they're supposed to go in, you can mangle them up on the breech, so you need to be a bit careful there. But it does work remarkably well, and it's a hell of a lot easier using this loading pellets than it is to try and do it by hand. Well, that's about it for the Daisy 922 Powerline pump action rifle. They are nice guns. Very definitely nice guns. There is a modern variation of this. There is the Daisy 880, which is still in production, which is very, very similar. I don't think they're quite as nice because the 880s, the modern ones, they have plastic pump levers, and I believe the receiver is also plastic, whereas of course on the 922 this is all metal. The only plastic parts are the buttstock and the forestock. So yeah, I think these are actually nicer. Okay, right, let's do some shooting with it. Well, we didn't do too bad. We'll close in on the target and have a look at it, but it's quite a nice grouping. Yeah, shooting a little low, but I think I might be able to explain that. I normally use H&N Field Target Trophy 2.2 pellets, which are 14.66 grains, but I've run out. So today I've been using H&N Cro-Magnums, but they are 18.21 grains, so they're considerably heavier. So that could be the reason why it's shooting a bit low. And don't forget, the air rifle does leak air, so it's a little bit underpowered. So no, I don't think that's bad at all. Actually, quite a nice little grouping. Well, that about wraps it up for the Daisy Powerline 922. Very happy to have this in my little collection of Daisy air rifles. It's great fun. Lovely rifle to shoot. As with all pneumatic guns, it doesn't have any recoil, so it's an absolute doddle to shoot, and a lot of fun. So, as always, hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers.